most astonishing, aside from that belief of mine which never ceases to surprise me by the very fact of its surprising lack of unpleasantness, the belief that I might very easily, as they say, lose my mind one day. Not that I suspect that I'm about to, or even nearby.
There is no saner woman on earth, Agnes.
Merely that it is not beyond happening, some gentle loosening of the moorings, sending the balloon adrift. And I think that's the only outweighing thing, adrift. Becoming a stranger in the world, quite uninvolved. For I never see it as violent, only as drifting. What are you looking for, Tobias?
We'll all go mad before you, the onset.
Thank you, darling. But I could never do it, of course, go adrift. What would become of you? Still, what I find most astonishing, as I said, aside from that speculation, and I wonder, too, whether I'm the only one of you to think about it, not that I might go mad, but that each of you wonders whether each of you might not. Why do you want anisette?
Well, I thought it might be nice.
Oh, sticky. I'll do cognac. It's supposed to be healthy. The speculation or assumption, I suppose, that if it occurs to you that you might be, then you are not. I've never been much comforted by it, though. It follows to my mind that if I speculate that I might someday, or early evening I think is more likely, because some autumn dusk go quite mad, then I very well might. Some autumn dusk, Tobias at his desk, looks up from all those awful bills to see his Agnes, mad as a hatter, chewing the ribbons on her dress.
Cognac.
Yes. Agnes sit by the fire, her mouth full of ribbons, her mind aloft, adrift. Nothing to do with the poor old thing that put her in a bin somewhere, sell the house, and move to Tucson, say, pine in the good sun and live to be 104.
Cognac is sticky, too.
Yeah, but nicer. Sit by me, huh?
To my mad lady, ribbons dangling.
And of course, I haven't worn a ribbon dress since Julia's remarriage. Second, no, first, I think. Tom, not Charlie. Are you comfortable?
For a little.
What I find most astonishing, as I said, aside from that theoretically healthy fear, no, not fear, how silly, I mean that theoretical speculation that I might someday become an embarrassment to you, what I find most astonishing in the world with all my years is Claire.
Claire, why?
Well, that anyone, be they one's sister or otherwise, could be so, but I don't want to use an unkind word because we're cozy here, aren't we?
Maybe.
As the saying has it, the only thing sharper than the serpent's tooth is a sister's ingratitude.
The saying does not have it that way.
Well, it should. Why are you moving?
It's getting uncomfortable.
Ah, things get hot and rough, huh? Yes.
I'm not as young as either of us once was.
I'm as young as I was the day that I married you, though I'm certain I don't look it. Because you are a very good husband. Most of the time. But I was talking about Claire. I was beginning to.
Yes, you were.
If I were to list the mountain of my burdens, if I had a thick pad and a month to spare, that, bending my shoulders most, with the possible exception of Julia's trouble with marriage, would be your, I think it must be instinctive, or no, reflex. Your reflex defense of everything that Claire...
Stop it, Agnes.
What are you going to do? Throw something at me? Oh, goodness, I hope not. What, your glass? All that awful anisette all over everything.
No.
What then?
I am going to sit here vertical. what I thought in truth a most indelicate situation.
Apologize. To her. To Claire. I have spent my adult life apologizing for her. I will not double my humiliation by apologizing to her.
One does not apologize to those for whom one must
Meet.
succeed. But one of the rules of an aphorism,
An epigram, I thought.
an epigram is usually satiric, and you,
And I am grimly serious, yes?
fear so.
To revert specifically from Claire to her effect. What would you do were I to spill my marbles?
Put you in a bin somewhere, sell the house, move to Tucson, pine in the hot sun, and live forever.
I bet you would.
Hurry up.
Oh, I'll try. It won't be simple paranoia, though, I know that. I've tried so hard to... Well, you know how little I vary. I mean, goodness, I can't even raise my voice except in the most calamitous of events. And I find that both joy and sorrow work their wonders on me more evenly, slowly, within than most. A suntan rather than scalding. There are no mountains in my life, nor chasms. It is a rolling, pleasant land, verdant. Thank you, my darling.
We do what we can.
Our motto. If we go downhill, our crest may join things, we should have that put in Latin. We do what we can. On your blazers, over the mantle, maybe we could have it on the linen as well.
You think I should go to Claire's room?
No, she will be down or she will not.
We do what we can.
Of course. So it won't be simple paranoia. Schizophrenia, on the other hand, is far more likely, even given the unlikelihood. I believe it can be chemically induced if all else fails, should sanity, such as it is, become too much. Sometimes think it would be so proper if you take a pill or even inject. Just remove.
You should take drugs, my dear.
But those are only temporary. Even addiction is just a repeated temporary stilling. Now, I am concerned with peace, not mere relief. And of course, I'm not a compulsive like some, like our dear Claire say.
Be kind, please.
I think I should like to have it fully, even on the chance I could not come back. Wouldn't that be terrible, though? To have done it, induced if naturally seemed unlikely and all was there. Not to be able to come back. Why did you put my cognac in the tiny glass?
Oh, sorry.
I'm not a sipper tonight. I'm a breather. My nose buried in the glass, the wonder of it, and silent.
I thought Claire was much better tonight. See any need for you to give her such a going over?
Claire was not better tonight, Tobias, honestly.
I thought she was.
Well, she was not.
Still.
Thank you, darling. I have decided, all things considered, that I shall not induce. That the years that we have put up with each other's wiles and crotchets have earned us each other's company. And I promise I shall think only good thoughts, healthy ones, positive, to ward off madness should it come by uninvited.
You mean I have no hope of Tucson?
None.
At last.
You have hope only of growing even older than you are, my dear Tobias, in the company of your steady wife, your alcoholic sister-in-law,
Ooh.
and occasional visits from our melancholy Julia. That is what you have, my dear Tobias. Will it do?
Me too.
I never doubted that it would. Oh, heart. someone.
Oh, there you are. I was just saying to Agnes a moment ago.
I must apologize, Agnes. I am very sorry.
But what are you sorry for, Claire?
I apologize that my nature is such to bring out in you the full force of your brutality.
Oh, no, I think there's no need for this sort of thing.
If you come to the table unsteady, if when you try to say good evening and weren't the autumn colors lovely today, you're nothing but vowels, and if one can smell the vodka on you from across the room, and don't try to tell me again either that vodka leaves nothing but breath. If you are expecting it, if you are sadly and wearily expecting it, it does. If these conditions exist, persist, then the reaction of one who is burdened by her love is not brutality, although that would be excused, believe me, not brutality at all, but the souring side of love. If I scold, it's because I wish I needn't. If I am short, it's because I am neither more nor less than human. And if I am to be accused once again of making too much of things, let me remind you that it is my manner and not the matter. I apologize for being articulate. Tobias, I think I'm going to call Julia. Is it 1 or 2 hours difference? I can never recall.
3.
Ah, yes, well, be kind to Claire, dear. She's injured. Be kind to Claire, dear. She's injured.
Oh, well.
I have never known whether to applaud or cry. Or rather, I never know which would be more appreciated, expected.
You are a great damn fool.
Yes. Why is she calling Julia?
You want a quick brandy before she gets back?
Oh, not at all. A public one. Fill the balloon half up, and I shall sip it ladylike. And when she glides back in, I shall lie on the floor and balance a glass of my forehead. And that will give her occasion for another paragraph. And you're in effectual stop it nows.
You are a great damn fool.
Is Julia having another divorce?
Oh, hell, I don't know.
It's only your daughter, thank you. I should imagine from all that I have watched, it's come home time. Why don't you kill Agnes?
I couldn't do that.
Or better still, why don't you wait till Julia separates and comes back here all sullen and confused and take a gun and blow all our heads off? Agnes first, through respect, of course, then poor Julia, and finally, if you have the kindness for it, me.
You really want me to shoot you?
I want you to shoot Agnes first, then I'll think about it.
Now, of course, it would have to be an act of passion. Out of my head and all that. I doubt I'd stand around with the gun smoking. Julia locked in a room screaming, wait for you to decide if you wanted it or not.
But unless you kill Agnes first, how will I ever know if I want to live? An act of passion.
Yes?
Oh my, that's funny.
Sorry?
Oh, darling Tobias, no, I'm sorry. I just don't see you in the role, that's all. Outraged, maddened into action, preceded by reflex? Can you see yourself, though, in front of the judge? Predictable, stolid Tobias? It all went blank, Your Honor. One moment, there I was, sitting in my chair, sipping my... What is that?
Anisette?
Anisette. Really? Anisette?
I like it!
Sticky. There I was, Your Honor, sitting in my chair, sipping at my anisette. The next thing I knew, they were all lying around, different rooms, heads all blown off. The gun still in my hand. I have no recollection of it, sir. Can you imagine that, Tobias?
Of course, with you all dead, your brains lying around in the rugs and so forth. there'd be no one to say it wasn't an act of passion.
Leave me to last. A breeze might rise and stir the ashes.
Who's that?
No one, just sounds like it should be.
Why don't you go back to your thing, your alcoholics thing?
I don't like the people.
What is it called?
Anonymous.
That. Yeah, why don't you go back?
Why don't you mind your own hooting business?
Sorry, Claire.
Because
It was better.
be a good brother-in-law. It's only the first I'm not supposed to have.
I thought it was better.
Thank you. You mean Agnes thought it was better?
No. I thought so too. That it would be.
I told you. They're not like us. I have nothing in common with them. When you used to go to business, before you became a squire, parading around in jumpers, confusing the gardener.
I have never done any such thing.
Before all that, sweet Tobias, when you used to spend all your time in town with your business friends, your indistinguishable, if not necessarily similar friends, what did you have in common with them?
Well, everything. Yeah, our business, we all mixed well. Your friends outside the office too. Clubs. Yeah, an environment, I guess.
But what did you have in common with them? Even Harry, your very best friend in all the world, as far as you know. I mean, you haven't met everybody, have you? Aren't you switching from Alasdair?
It doesn't go for very long, all right?
Doesn't matter to me. Even Harry, your very best friend. Tell me, dear Tobias, what do you have in common with him?
Please?
What do you really have in common with him? Except the coincidence of having cheated on your wives in the same summer with the same woman. Woman. What except that? And hardly a distinction. I believe she was upended that whole July.
If you'll forgive me, Claire, common practice is hardly a coincidence.
Poor girl. Poor whatever she was that hot and very wet July. The distinction would have been to have not. To have been the one or two of the very, very many, and oh God, similar, who did not upend the poor, unfamiliar thing that dry and oh so wet July.
Please. Agnes.
Of course, you had the wanted only ones, whereas Harry, good friend Harry, I have it from the horse's mouth, was on top for good keeps twice, with a third try not so hot in the gardener's shed, amongst the mulch or whatever it is, and the orange pots.
Shut your mouth.
All right. What was her name?
I don't remember.
No matter. She's gone. Tell me, would you give friend Harry the shirt off your back, as they say?
Suppose I would. He is my best friend.
How sad does that make you?
Not much. Some, not much.
No one to listen to Bruckner with you. No one to tell you're sick of golf. No one to admit that now and then you're suddenly frightened. And you don't know why.
Frightened? No.
All right. tell you what happened the last time I climbed the stairs to the Fancy Alky Club and why I'm not going back? What I do not have in common with those people?
Sure.
Poor Tobias. Sure. Light me a cigarette. Give me everything I need. A smoke, a sip, and a good hard surface. Thank you.
Comfy?
Very. Do you remember that spring when I moved out? The time I was really sick with the stuff. Was drinking like the famous fish. Was a source of great embarrassment, so that you and Agnes set me up in the apartment next to the station. And Agnes was so good about coming to see me. Sorry.
When will it all just go in the past, forget itself?
When all the defeats are done, admit it. When memory takes over and corrects fact, makes it tolerable. When Agnes lies on her deathbed.
You know, Agnes has such wonderful control. I've not seen her cry. For the longest time, no matter what.
Warn me when she's coming. I'll act drunk. Pretend you're very sick, Tobias. Like you were with that stomach business. But pretend you feel your insides are all green and stink and all mixed up. And your eyes hurt. And you're half deaf. And your brain keeps turning off. And you've got peripheral neuritis. And you can hardly walk. And you hate. You hate with the same green, stinking sickness you feel your bowels have turned into, yourself and everybody. Hate. But oh God, you want love. L-O-V-E, so badly. Comfort and snuggling is what you really need, of course. But you hate. And you notice, with a sort of detachment that amuses you, you think, that you're becoming more like an animal every day. You grab, snarl, hide things, forget where you hid them like not very bright dogs. And you wash less, prefer to be washed. And once or twice you've actually soiled your bed and laid in it because you couldn't get up. Pretend all that. No, you don't like that, Tobias?
I don't know why. What?
You want to know what it's like to be an alky, don't you, boy?
Sure.
So, the guy you're spending your bottles with takes you along to the old AA. And you sit there at the alky club and watch the better ones not recover, because once an alky, always, and you better remember that, or you're gone the first time you pass a salute. Watch the better ones get up and tell their stories.
Once you drop, you can come back up part way, but never really back again. Always descent.
Well, that's life, baby.
You really are a big damn fool.
But I am not, and never was, an alcoholic.
All promise, all chance.
It would be so much better if I were an alcoholic. So, one night, 1 month, sometime, I'd had 1 martini as a test to see if I could, which, given my stunning self-discipline, had turned into 3. And I felt rather daring, and nicely detached, and a little larger than life, not snarky yet. So I marched straight up to the front of the room hall, and I faced my peers. And as I looked over them, all of them, trying so hard, grit, guilt, failing, trying again, loss. And a moment's sweeping pity and disgust. I almost cried. But I didn't. Like sister, by God. And I heard myself say, in my little girl voice, and there were a lot of different me's by then, I'm an alcoholic. My name is Claire, and I'm an alcoholic. You try it.
My name is Claire, and I'm an alcoholic.
Ah, alcoholic.
Alcoholic.
Now, I was supposed to say how bad I'd been, and how I didn't want to be, and how it had happened, and what I wanted to happen, and would they help me help myself. But I just stood there for 10 seconds, maybe. And I curtsied. I gave my little girl curtsy, and on my little girl feet, I padded back to my chair.
Did they laugh at you?
Well, an agnostic in the Holy of Holies doesn't get much camaraderie. A little patronizing, maybe. Oh, they were taking the bottom, don't misunderstand me. But one lady was nice. She came up to me later and said, "You've taken the first step, dear."
That was nice of you.
She didn't say the first step to what? Sanity, insanity, revelation, self-deception.
Change sometimes, no matter what.
Count on you, Tobias, a snappy phrase every time. But it hooked me. The applause, the stage presence that first time. No school taught got more gold stars for never missing class. I went. Oh God, I did.
I'd start.
Until I learned, and I was a slow learner in my young middle age, that I was not, nor ever have been, an alcoholic, or am either. That was what I did not have in common with those people. That they were alcoholics and I was not. That I was just a drunk. That they couldn't help it. I could and wouldn't. That they were sick and I was merely willful. I've talked with Julia.
Oh, how is she?
My, what an odd glass to put a soft drink in. Tobias, you've a quiet sense of humor, after
He
all.
has not.
Agnes.
Well, it can't be brandy, and Tobias is a grown-up, and he knows far better than
A toast to you, sweet sister. I drink to your not health. Persistence in good, hard brandy. As and on you.
It would serve you right, my dear. Were I to go away, drift off, you would not have a woman left about you. Only Claire and Julia. Not even people. It would serve you right.
But I'm not an alcoholic, baby.
She can drink a little.
I will not tolerate it. I will yourself do it right.
Please, Agnes.
What I cannot stand is the selfishness. Those of you who want to die and take your whole lives doing it.
Your wife is a perfectionist. They are very hard to live with, these people.
She's not an alcoholic. She said
I'm
she
not
drinks
an
some.
alcoholic.
We think that's very nice. We shall all rest easier to know that it is willful, that it can be helped, that the tears and the vomit, the muddy mind, the falls and the absences, the cigarettes out on the tabletops, the calls from the club to come and get you, please, that they are all willful, that it can be helped. If you are not an alcoholic, you are beyond forgiveness.
Oh, well, I've been that for a long time, haven't I, sweetheart?
If we change for the worse and drink, we are an alcoholic. It is as simple as that.
Who is to say?
I.
If we're to live here on Tobias' charity, we are subject to the will of his wife. If we were asked at our father's dying to...
Those are the ground rules.
Tobias? Nothing. Are those the ground rules? Nothing. Too settled, too dried up, gone. All right. Very well then, Agnes. You win. I shall be an alcoholic. So, what are you going to do about it?
You will be unhappy to hear it, I expect, Tobias, or of mixed emotions, certainly, but Julia is coming home again.
She's
She's
naturally.
leaving Douglas, which
Yes.
is, of course, no surprise to me.
I thought Julia was happy. She didn't tell
If
me
Julia
anything.
were happy, she would not be coming here. I mean, I don't want her here, God knows. I mean, she's welcome, of course.
Right on
I mean,
square
she's
schedule,
home,
once
and all
every
her
3
parents,
years.
The two of us, you and I, we have our obligations to her. But I reached an age where I wish we were always alone, you and I, without hangers-on. or
Well,
anything.
I'm not going.
And if she has, if it is finished with Doug, and I'm not saying that she is in the right, but if it is, then her place is properly here. As for some others, it is not.
1, 2, 3, 4, down they go.
I'll talk to Doug.
I wish you would. I mean, if you'd talk to Tom or Charlie, yes, even Charlie, or
Phil.
Phil, it might have done some good. I mean, if you're going to assert yourself now, finally, too late, I imagine.
Damned
well,
if you do,
at
damned
least
if you
Julia
don't.
might come to believe that her father cares, which might be some consolation, if not help.
I'll talk to Doug.
Well,
Why don't you invite
talk
him
to
here?
Julia
And
too.
while you're at it,
You
invite
don't
the
very
others
often.
too.
Yes.
Philip loved to gamble. Charlie loved the boys. Tom went after
Will
women.
Stop that.
Oh, I am here after all. I exist.
Claire, why don't you go on vacation now that Julia's coming home again? Why don't you go to Kentucky or Tennessee and visit the distilleries? Or why don't you lock yourself in your room or find a bar with an apartment in the back?
Or Agnes, why don't you die?
You know, if I thought there was some point to it, some reason, a chance, if I could say to her, Julia, then what would I say? Julia, nothing.
We do not love someone. Never have loved them.
No. Can be silence. Even happy.
You really want me dead, Claire?
Wish? Yes. Want? though I might regret it if I had it.
Oh, remember the serpent's tooth, Tobias.
The cat that I had. Cat that I had. And I was a year or so before I met you. She was very old. She must have been 15 or more. Had her since I was a kid. An alley cat. She didn't like people very much. She liked me, I think. When people came, she'd pick up and walk away. When she was with me, she was content. She'd sit on her lap. Or she was happy, but she was content.
Yes.
And how the thing happened, I don't know. One day I realized she no longer liked me. One day I was alone, home, and I was suddenly aware of her absence. But not just that she wasn't in the room with me, but she hadn't been in rooms with me for, I couldn't place how long. She hadn't gone away, you understand, but she hadn't run off. I remember I'd see her underneath a chair from time to time, moving out of a room. It was only when I realized something had happened that I could give any pattern to the things that I noticed. She didn't like me anymore. It was as simple as that.
Well, she was old.
No, it wasn't that. She didn't like me anymore. I tried to force myself on her.
What do you mean?
Well, I'd close her in the room with me. I'd make her sit on my lap, and I'd make her stay there. She didn't want to. She'd abide it, but she'd get up when she could. Move away. She didn't like me anymore. One night, I was fixed on it now. One night, I had her on my lap for about the 5th time, the same evening. She facing away from me. She wouldn't purr. I said to her, "You stop this, goddammit! You like me! I haven't done anything to you." And I shook her. I had my hands around her shoulders and I shook her. And she bit me hard. And she hissed at me. So I hit her. Flat of my hand, I hit her, smack, right across the head. I hated it.
Did you hurt her badly?
Yes. Well, not badly. I must have hurt her ears some. She shook her head for a day or so. But there was no reason. I'd lived with her we were friends, you know. And there was no reason. And I hated her for that. I hated her because she was accusing me of something, of failing. And I hadn't been cruel to live by design. By being neglectful. Well, my life. And I resented having being judged.
What did you do?
I'd lived with her, I'd done everything. If there was any responsibility, I failed it well. There's nothing I could do, and I was being accused.
And what did you do?
They had her killed.
You had her put to sleep. She was old. You had her put to sleep.
I had her killed. I took her to the vet. He took her in the back, and he gave her an injection, and he killed her. I killed her. I had her killed.
What else could you do? There was nothing else to be done. There was no meeting between you.
And it got on longer, and I tried longer, and I got on as long as cats live. I might have worn a hair shirt, locked myself in the house with her, done penance or something. But what? God knows.
You probably did the right thing. Distasteful alternatives. The less ugly choice.
Was it?
Is that a car in the drive?
If we do not love someone, never have loved someone.
Oh, stop it. Love is not the problem. You love Agnes. Agnes loves Julia. Julia loves me, and I love you. We all love each other. Yes, we do. We love each other.
Yes.
Yes. To the depth of our self-pity and our greed. What else but love?
Error.
Yeah, quite possibly. Love and error.
Edna, Harry, what a surprise. Tobias, it's Harry and Edna. Come on in. Let me take you.
Edna! Hey!
Hello, Tobias.
Harry!
Come now, Tobias.
Edna. Hello there, Harry. Hello, dear Claire.
Hello, Agnes.
Evening, Claire.
How are you, Edna?
Sit down. We were just having a cordial. Have you been out? To the club?
I like this room.
To the club.
How's old Harry?
Oh, pretty well up there. Not as good as I'd like.
Oh, Harry's been having a shortness of breath again.
Yeah, I can't breathe sometimes. For just a bit.
Well, hey, 2 sets of tennis, you know?
What have you done to the room, Agnes? Oh, the summer things are off. Of course. Have you been to the club?
Well, I was talking to Edna about having our books done in leather. Bound.
Oh, yes?
The question, unless I'm going dead from all the alcohol, is have you all been to the club?
I wondered.
Well, why, no.
Why, no, Agnes. I wondered. I thought perhaps you'd drop by here on your way back from there.
No.
Or that we're having a party and I've lost a day.
No, we were just sitting home.
Agnes.
Just sitting home.
Well,
Well, glad you're here. Hey, party or not?
Good to see you, Tobias.
How is Julia? A wrong question. May I have some brandy, Tobias?
Julia's coming home, I'm afraid.
Oh, not again.
You just can't keep that room married, I guess.
Oh, Agnes, what a shame.
That's too bad.
Why did you come?
Claire, please. We're glad you came. We're glad you came to surprise us.
Yes.
We were sitting home, just sitting home.
Yes. We're glad to see you.
What happened, Harry?
Claire.
Claire.
It's all right, Tobias. Claire, I don't see why our friends can't come
He
by.
wants to tell you, sis.
were sitting home.
Can I get you a drink?
Well, we thought about going to the club, but it's so crowded on a Friday night that we didn't want to do that.
Oh, we're picking us a party and getting ready for the dance tomorrow.
We didn't want to do that.
Oh, Harry's been tired this whole week.
Yeah. So we had dinner home, and I thought we'd stay.
Rest.
Of course. Shh. I will not. Shh.
Oh, please.
Go on, Harry.
So we were sitting, and well, Edna was doing that panel she works on.
My needlepoint.
Yeah, and I was reading my French. Yeah, I've got it pretty good now. Not the accent, but the words.
And then?
Hmm?
And then?
Oh, well, I don't know quite what happened then. We were sitting. Nothing happened. We were all alone, and it was all very quiet. Nothing at all happened, but...
Oh, we got frightened!
Yeah, we get scared.
We were frightened!
Yeah, there was nothing, but we were very scared.
We were terrified!
Yeah, we were scared. It was like being lost. And very young again with the dark and lost. There was no thing to be frightened of, but...
There was nothing, but we were frightened!
We couldn't stay there, so we came here. You're our very best friends.
In the whole world!
Now, Edna.
We couldn't go anywhere else, so we came here.
Could I go to bed now, please?
Bed?
We can't go back there.
Please? I'm so tired.
Bed.
We couldn't go anywhere else.
You did the right thing, of course.
Our best friends.
Of course we are, Harry.
Oh, please!
Of course. There's Julia's room. Come upstairs with me. Tobias?
Edna, there was no one else we could go to.
I wondered when it would begin, when it would start.
Start? Start? What?
You don't know yet? You will.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a 5-minute comfort break.